Marcos v. Duterte, umiinit. Sara Duterte at Liza Marcos, hidwaan, e-bike, e-trike, walang hulihan, at marami pang iba. Kumusta over me? This is for Joseph and welcome to News Item Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 47. We have tons to cover since last week, so skip to the answers provided if it piques your interest. Kita for the blazing selective summation. Here are some page news commentary for your convenience. Marcos versus Duterte, iyakin si BBM, sabi ni Duterte. Sa isang hot and fiery speech ni former President Duterte, nagbato siya ng mga ad hominem o batikos sa katauhan o personalidad ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr., particularly saying that he's a crybaby.
Sabi ko kay Marcos, stop complaining and expounding on it. Do it and repair. Yan ang sasabi ko sa kanila. I challenge them na sila man na sa gobyerno ngayon, di i-repair nila at gumawa sila doon ng mga bahay-bahay kung saan. If they are really ready for that. Gawain na nila ngayon gusto nilang gawin. I-patrol na nila yung Philippine Navy, the gray ships, and let us see what happened. Mr. President, I am challenging you to go to Alonan with the other ships and repair it. Di subukan nila. Kami takot. Ayaw namin ng gera. Go ahead. Bring in Japan and the rest of the ASEAN countries. And let us see what happens.
Talagang nanggagalaiti si FPRRD dahil nga lumabas yung issue na meron daw gentleman's agreement si Chinese Premier Xi Jinping at FPRRD ayon kay dating presidential spokesperson at malapit na kaibigan ni former President Rodrigo Duterte na si Harry Roque, kung saan kanyang ibinida sa isang interview ang political mastermindedness, or political Machiavellianism ni FPRRD to keep peace in the region. So, check that out.
Nagkaroon kasi ng gentleman's agreement. No? Ito'y oral sa panahon ni Presidente Duterte na ang parehong panig, ang China at Pilipina, ay rerespetuhin ang status quo. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung naroon na walang dagdag, walang bawas. Okay. At dahil dito sa agreement nito, sa tingin ko, nabawasan yung tensyon sa panig ng Pilipinas at ng China. Dumating yung Chinese Premier sa Pilipinas ng panahon ni Duterte at dumating din si President Xi mismo sa Pilipinas. So marami pagkakataon talaga na nakapagpulong ang Presidente, hindi lang sa Ambassador, hindi lang sa Foreign Minister ng China, kundi sa Premier at saka kay President Xi dito sa Pilipinas, sa China, at sa iba-iba pang venue.
Inamin ni dating presidential spokesperson attorney Harry Roque na mayroong gentleman's agreement as sina President Xi Jinping at then President Rodrigo Duterte na ipagpatuloy ang status quo ng dalawang bansa with regards to no new stuff shall be built in the disputed territories. Kaya nung binomba ng water cannon back in Duterte's presidency, nagalit at pinatawag niya yung ambassador ng China. But ang sinabi naman ng China, sinabi noon ang dahilan kaya binomba ng water cannon ng resupply vessel noong panahon na iyon kung kailan nagalit si Duterte matapos sila magkaroon ng di umano'y gentleman's agreement na tutulong sana sa BRP Sierra Madre ay dahil may laman daw itong construction material na naging dahilan ng pagiging agresibo nila in a pre-peaceful time or at least relatively peaceful time or relatively peaceful maritime relationship period nung dalawang bansa na nag-aagawan ng teritoryo, again in the most spectacular fashion, of course.
So dun sa usapin na yun, lumabas na kaya nila winater cannon kasi ang kasunduan ng status quo hindi dapat magpapadala ng mga materyales for repair nung Sierra Madre. Okay. Nang matapos naman yung insidenteng yon, wala nang ganyang insidenteng nangyari. Wala pong naging kasunduan na tatanggalin ang Sierra Madre sa ayungin. Okay. Ang kasunduan, papayagan nilang dalhan ng tubig at pagkain, hindi nila haharangin.
At to be honest, it did seem reasonable naman, lalo na at ang main purpose ni Duterte, other than the whole hating against the US kind of thing, and seeing China as the imminent superpower of the 21st century, kumbaga, go to the winner side na, or at least go to the preeminent winner side na, kaysa naman sa mag-stick tayo to the old and declining United States at kanyang self and nation-serving goal na bawasan ang sigalot at laban sa isang malaking regional power. So again, nung panahon ni Duterte, relatively peaceful ang relasyon natin with China, or at least in China-PH relationship, which is a refreshing tone considering ang dahilan ng lahat ng ungkata ng mga secret dealings parang sa the room where it happens, ang nangyayari in a sense na nagre-rely tayo sa ating mga leader to save the day, pero we don't have a say on what they trade away. We dream of a brand new start, but we live in the dark for the most part on how does everything get challenged or even made. The dealings, the secret dealings that were made para lang magkaroon or at least magkaroon ng kompromisa with each other. In the Gentleman's Agreement, ang tinatrade daw ni Duterte para sa relative na kapayapaan in the West Philippine Sea is ang pagiging malambot ng response natin sa China, ang hindi pag-assert ng ating sovereignty or sovereign rights sa rehiyon based on proximity, not UNCLOS. Let's be real, UNCLOS is a convention. Nothing is stopping China from harming us kasi nga we are not worth the geopolitical risk at hindi naman tayo kailangang lusubin ng China kasi konting takot lang ng either economic or political sanctions along with some bullying, titiklop na tayo. Lalo na't marami tayong Chinese businessmen. Although, again, they are Filipinos. Okay? Don't go around harassing or boycotting Chinese Filipinos, mga Chinoy, just because they are Chinese and we have some xenophobic mentality just because the Chinese authorities in the mainland China is doing all this stuff against us. Again, this is more of a Chinese government doing bad things to us. Kaya I kind of agreed dun sa sinabi ni Duterte na papel lang ang pagkapanalo natin laban sa China sa ating glorious arbitral ruling, which, or at least even though it is a win, basically alam kong hindi siya yung best course of action. Kumbaga, hindi yun yung dapat nating ini-stakean ng ating claim. Natigilan ng ating pag-assert ng ating soberanya sa West Philippine Sea. Pero I get why Duterte want to just keep the status quo because again, it is easier for him to deal with a lot of things either way. Kumbaga, alam niyang hindi feasible na mag-rely tayo sa US for everything kasi nga, like sinabi ko nung last time, kung magre-rely tayo sa US by giving them a place for their troops and bases here in the Philippines, just like what BBM has already been doing with their EDCA sites, along with some personal animosity, parang mawawalan rin ng silbi yung sinasabi mong ang dahilan kung bakit tayo nandito, or at least bakit nandito yung tropa ng mga Kano, ay dahil gusto natin protektahan ang ating otonomiya at soberanya kasi para na rin nating sinusurrender ang ating kalayaan, but to a familiar evil, which is the United States. Kumaga, sinasabi natin, oh, gusto kong protektahan ang aking soberanya, ang ating kaligtasan. Pero ibibigay naman natin, isusurrender natin some of our liberty and our rights to give these Kano some operating place where they can do whatever the fuck they want to stake their weapon systems in the Philippines. Now, I don't really want to get in on all of those kasi I know the benefits of having EDCA sites in our region and the fact that we are just a pawn as of now in this whole thing, in the struggle of the two powers. Siguro, ang mali lang ni Duterte is to naively think na the status quo can't remain forever in a country na overwhelmingly still for the USA and predominantly anti-China based on, again, things that has been going on since we won the arbitral ruling and a lot of stuff that has happened in conflict or in conjunction doon sa mga pinaggagawa ng China sa ating West Philippine Sea. We are American-phile or America-phile or I'm not sure, pero yun na nga, hindi porke we are in the right on all possible reasonable avenues magagawa na natin ang gusto natin. In this case, might make right, but not the might of the right, or the right of the might that supports the right because the right isn't geopolitically worth the risk of an escalation between the predominant and emerging might. If you want to learn more about the topic, watch NIDW number 44 or watch my NIDW mini major tidbit about the video or at least about the West Philippine Sea at harassment ng China. Sumugot si President Marcos Jr. na wala siyang pake sa mga personal na atake ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at irrelevant ang kanyang mga atake laban sa kanyang. Again, it's an ad hominem attack because, you know, you're a crybaby or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. I haven't watched the video. But all I know is that he taunted President Bongbong Marcos Jr.
I don't pay any attention to that. I really don't. That means absolutely nothing to me. And, you know, again, the former president is a highly experienced lawyer. He should know that ad hominem attacks like that really have no place in this kind of very important and very precarious discussions. Sasabihin, pangit eh. O sige, di pangit ako, so what? Hindi ba? Walang lugar yung mga yung mga personal ad hominem attacks kung tawagin sa batas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
But again and again, iginigit niya ang dapat niyang tuunan ng pansin ay yung sinasabi ni Attorney Harry Roque na gentleman's agreement. Because again, that's the sore point. Kumbaga, even though I don't think this is unconstitutional or in any case, the fact of the matter is that sneak that to the public, sneak it in the public. But again, I don't think that would be constituted as unconstitutional. That's just weird, man. That's just the political maneuvering of of our executive leader. Pero yung sinasabi nga ni Marcos, ano yung kanyang kinokompromisa para mapanatili ang kapayapaan sa West Philippine Sea? Because again, it's relatively full peacetime. Bagamat maanghang ang tilay one-sided feud ni Duterte at Marcos, sinasabi niyang hindi niya itinuturing na kaaway si former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Maliwanag na para sa akin, may usapan sila na tinago nila sa taong bayan. Number one. Okay, that's why I say the first question that I have is clear. So now we need to know, what did you agree to? What did you compromise? Ano yung pinamigay ninyo? Bakit nagagalit sa atin ang mga kaibigan natin sa China dahil hindi kami sumusunod? Ano yung dapat namin gawin? Anong laman ng secret agreement na yan? At pangatlo, bakit secret? Pagka masagot natin yung tatlong yan, magiging mas maliwanag yung issue.
The only thing I remember was that status quo. That's the word na walang galawan. No movement, no armed patrols there, as is where is. Para walang magkagulo. I assure you that if it was a gentleman's agreement, it would always have been an agreement that would keep the peace in the South China Sea.
Ipinoprotektahan rin ni President Marcos si VP Sara Duterte dahil sa kanyang tamilmil o walang imik patungkol sa pagdepensa at paglabas or maglabas ng statement for the Filipino people against Chinese aggressions in the West Philippine Sea.
It's not the Vice President's place the Vice President is part of the government, not unlike before. Pero ngayon, talagang kasama sa administrasyon, not only the government in this administration. That's not the role of a Vice President or a Secretary of Education to talk about China. So I think we are all in line because I'm very sure that if Inday Sara had some very serious misgivings about what we are doing in terms of foreign policy, she would bring that to me. And wala naman ang pinag-uusapan nga namin, sabi niya, basta ako, trabaho lang ako ng trabaho. Sabi ko, that's a good policy. So I don't think that it's something that we need to to be concerned with.
Sinabi ng ilan na ang dami niyang mga pinagsasabi sa iba't ibang issue tulad na lang sa pag-uutos na ipaaresto si Pastor Quiboloy, pero tumatahimik siya with regards to the Filipino-Chinese disagreements in the region. It's kind of like, bakit parang tamilmil ka dyan? Bakit nananahimik ka dyan? You should be fighting for our rights, which I think Paulo Duterte said, well, the VP doesn't really have to say anything about this, of which Marcos echoed the sentiment. However, nang umattend si VP Sara Duterte sa isang rally kung saan tinawag niyang, or at least tinawag na bangag, si President Marcos ni FPRRD last time. I think this is the same day as the Bagong Pilipinas thing, but I haven't really pushed the video out, so I haven't really cared. The NIDW Mini Major Tidbits will be coming soon. Pero yun na nga, nagalit siyang tumatawa pa raw si VP Sara Duterte nang sinabi ito ng kanyang ama na bangag nga raw si again PBBM.
Duterte said, oh, bangag, di ba? Imagine a former president calling bangag. I mean, wow, you had 6 years, why would you call bangag, di ba? So, and then the camera panned on her, tumatawa. So, syempre nakita ko, sabi ko, wow, man, I mean, masakit yan. And then when said Duterte, si Sandro, yan, gusto maging prime minister, perpetuate themselves in power. Tapos ako, I want to say, binibilang ko ngayong mga oras, di ba? So, pero tumawa sila. So, parang for me, ano yan, mali yata yan, di ba? Parang, you're getting swelled from the government, di ba? You're supposed to be the alter ego, we're there protecting you, tapos gagawin mo yan?
Which BBM has actually responded saying that maybe it's the fentanyl, that's why he's saying that stuff.
Po sa statement ni President Duterte last night sa drugs and drugs initiative.
And then urging you to resign.
Resign po.
I think it's the fentanyl.
Bumelta ang ating First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, the mastermind of it all, sa kanyang interview kung saan sinabi niyang, even Lini didn't do that. Don't bring her into this crooked game you call politicking. Okay? Wala siyang sinabi tungkol kay PBBM that either isn't true or remotely as bad as what Duterte has said. Don't bring her into this. We can see here na talagang si Liza Araneta ang the one calling the shots. It's such an off-putting statement to LARP and the former Vice President into this. She is a dignified scholar. She's enjoying her life. She won't do anything close to that. And don't LARP her into this. Don't put her in the same basket as former President Rodrigo Duterte. They are completely different people. Wala siyang sinabi tungkol kay PBBM that either isn't true or remotely as bad. Okay? I don't think she ever said anything about PBBM that is against, it isn't true, or remotely as bad as what Duterte has said. I'm not a kakamping in the most caricatured way possible of a liberal, fucking classist, wala na akong maisip na salita. Yung mayayaman, yung mga elitista na the most caricatured way possible. But let's not compare apples to rotten oranges here. Bad shot na raw siya. And would be taking a long time for her to get back on the good graces of the good Lord, Liza Araneta Marcos. Because again, we need her or something like that because she's the mastermind or something. I don't fucking know. Pero yun na nga. Nanawagan naman si Navy Reservice at First District Davao Representative Pantaleon Alvarez na i-withdraw na ng AFP at PNP ang kanilang suporta kay PBBM nang siya'y mapilitang, or at least nang siya'y mapilitang bumaba sa kanyang pwesto sa ekutibo dahil sa di umano'y brash actions in the diplomatic at world stage patungkol sa kanyang pagiging malapit sa US at Japan, not to mention the trilateral meeting between the three countries. Kumbaga, si Panty Alvarez, dahil sa kanyang mga maanghang na pasaring sa ating head of state and again si PBBM, mukhang iimbestigahan na ang kanyang mga pinagsasabi at baka kasuhan pa nga ng sedisyon si First District Davao Representative Pantaleon Alvarez dahil sa kanyang paghimok na i-withdraw ng AFP at PNP ang kanilang suporta sa presidente, of which the AFP and the PNP has never said a word, or at least has never corroborated any type of insurgency or mutiny against the executive leader. Pinasaringan rin ni PBBM ang war on drugs ni dating presidente Rodrigo Duterte nang masabat ng DILG at PNP ang mahigit kumulang 10 bilyong pisong halaga ng illegal na drogang kanilang nakuha sa isang driver ng isang closed van. Although parang napakalaki nito for just one person to transport all of that. Napaka-convenient that. Anyway, ang sabi ni BPBM, walang dugong dumanak sa kanilang laban sa kontra-droga in contrast to Duterte's drug on war or war on drugs. I don't know, pero yun ang...
Walang namatay, walang nagputukan, walang nasaktan. Basta't inoperate natin ng dahan-dahan, yun naman dapat ang approach. Para sa akin, yun dapat ang approach sa drug war.
Here are some more page news for your convenience. BIRMM plebiscite to add 8 new municipalities. Mapayapang naidaos ang plebisito sa Cotabato upang dagdagan ng 8 bayang nasa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao at gumawa ng mga panibagong munisipalidad na magraratapika matapos malaman kung pabor ang mga tao sa plebisitong inihain ng, again, city. Iisa lang ang munisipalidad ng Cotabato mula nang ito'y maging isang probinsya noong 1940. An overwhelming yes vote ang lumutang sa resulta ng plebisito ng paggawa ng 8 munisipyo sa probinsya ng Cotabato from 1 to 8. Iba-ibang pinatitigil muna. Iniutos ni President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang pagpapatigil ng pag-antala ng paghuli, pagtiket, pagmulta at pag-impound ng mga vehicles na nakapaloob sa e-bike ban that would ban electric bikes, tricycles, pedicabs at iba pa sa mga major roadways tulad ng circumferential roads, radial roads, ilang highways at marami pang iba sa Metro Manila na nagsimula noong April 15. Nilinaw niyang kahit wala mo nang lihan, bawal pa rin sa ilang nasabing major roadways sa Metro Manila. Maalala nating nitong nakaraan lamang, inalabas na ng The Metro Manila Council ang isang resolution na nagbabawal sa mga electric vehicles tulad ng e-bikes at e-tris kasama ng mga tricycles, kuliglig, sidecars, pedicabs at mga kuliglig sa mga major roads tulad ng National, Circumferential at Radial Roads sa Manila. Papatawan ng 2,500 pesos na multa ang mga lalabag sa resolusyon. Ire-require na rin ang mga drivers ng aforementioned vehicles na magpakita ng lisensya kung ayaw nilang ma-impound ang kanilang mga sasakyan, at least in Metro Manila. Ayon sa acting chairman ng MMDA, hindi nila sinusupil ang mga nagmamaneho ng e-trikes, e-bikes, sidecars, pedicabs, kuliglig o tricycles, kundi nire-regulate lamang ang kanilang paghahari-harian sa kalsada dahil sa mga nakakasangkutang aksidente sa mga major roads na pinagmamaneho Binaban ang mga aforementioned vehicles sa mga susunod na kalsada. Of course, I'm not going to say them all kasi nga nakakatamad at i-type and even sabihin. So, basta, I think I'll be flashing it on the screen, so just pause it and then come back to the video. Here are some global/international news for your convenience. Israel strikes Iran, Iran retaliates. Israel has stricken Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria. This comes at a pretty shocking turn of events as Israel presses on the Iranian government to escalate the tension in the region as Israel strikes an Iranian embassy in Syria, Damascus, following an unfounded suspicion of Iranian involvement in the horrifying October 7 attack by Hamas in Israel. The conflict of intifadas and nakbas in the region has been a pretty brutal one against the Palestinian people in the region, with many convicted conclusions of it being considered as a genocide against the people of Palestine by Netanyahu and the Israeli Defense Forces in the Gaza Strip, being called the largest open-air prison in concentration/eradication/ethnic cleansing camps, denying Palestinians basic human rights such as food, electricity, and water. They're even barring the humanitarian aid coming into the Gaza Strip. In retaliation to the act of war committed by Israel, Iran retaliated and showered Israel with missiles which were completely eviscerated because of Israel's Iron Dome that intercepted the missiles way before it did any damage, except some fragments that broke as Israel's Iron Dome glided with a missile. At yan na po tapos ng news na worthy recap weekly edition for roughly the 3rd week of April 2024. Mag-switch sa more topics and or corrections to the balitas if you feel I misrepresented them in any way. Salamat sa mga panonood mga kabayan. For me, like, subscribe, follow my links in socials and avoid Joseph that would be linked down below. Salamat sa mga panonood mga kabayan. For me, like, subscribe, follow my links in socials and avoid Joseph that would be linked down below. Sa susunod ulit, paalam.